Started off my roll here with my buddy. He is probably 160 pounds, so probably 20 pounds lighter than me. And he was already pretty tired. I was a little late to class, about 20 minutes late. Start out here. I thought we were going to start in scissor guard, but he was just tired. And I kind of pushed him back a little bit. Didn't want to be too rough right off the bat, especially since he was super tired. Grab his collar, remember that, okay, can't be too passive either. So starts making a grip, so I just switched to passing his guard. And at this point I'm thinking, kind of want to just end this round quick so I could roll with somebody new. At this point I'm trying to bait him for a arm bar, looking to step over. He's going to throw his knees up, try to get the guard back, and then I lock up a Darce choke. Hurt his neck pop a little bit, which is not what I wanted. Would have rather had the pressure on the front of the neck rather than the back. And then ended the recording here, and then continued recording in 0.5 lens, which is better. Now this guy, he's real tall. He's probably 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" probably. He recently just competed and won by calf slicer, so I was pretty eager to roll with him. Right off the bat here, don't really remember what we did. I think, yeah, I just sat down, tried to sweep him, and I come up, he starts attacking my arm. He tries to go for an arm bar, and I just throw his legs over, end up passing. And here I'm just stepping my knee over his waist, get into mount here, pushing that arm down. He's so long. Just gonna get his back there, but he was too high up. Rolls there, gets in top position. His legs are too long, so I get into whatever that is, X guard, and I try to come up, but he has a grip on my collar, I think. From here, I get an omoplata, and I roll him over, and I got a grip around the back of his head, and I did a bow and arrow choke. His legs are so long, it's hard to stay up there. Here I got around his neck, behind his head, fed his collar, and just got a bow and arrow. Standard bow and arrow. And at the end he was asking me about the finishing mechanics. Or the escape, actually. He was asking me about the escape. Next up, we got this other guy. He's a white belt, kind of heavy, and he's pretty strong. Nice guy, respectful guy. And we had a bit of a lengthy roll. Right here I'm explaining to this guy what he needed to do to get out of the bow and arrow. He needed to basically pull my elbow above his head. Instead of just putting his back to the mat, he needed to also pull my elbow. So we got this next guy here. He's probably 5'9", probably 5'9", 210, 220 maybe. He's a heavier dude. He's strong, but he's a nice guy. And we start out here. He recently competed, and I believe he got armbarred or some sort of a submission, can't remember. But right off the bat, get a arm drag on him, start trying to work to his back, and I end up getting the sweep, try to move his legs out of the way. He had a pretty good grip. I didn't really want to deal with his grips, so I was being a little, I was just changing things up. Get past his guard, and in any other situation I would be kind of explaining to him, alright, here's how to prevent this from happening so easily. But this was a kind of a rounds situation, so it's kind of just trying to get through the rounds as quick as possible, which is why I'm right here. I'm going for this looks like a straight arm bar. Usually I wouldn't go for that, but if I'm trying to get a quick sub, it's something I would go for, just to open something else up. Get in a mount here, get an arm bar, and didn't want to put too much pressure on my groin. He rolls over, couldn't get my leg in front of his face, but the angle was in my favor, so I really didn't even need it. I had a lot of leverage just as it was, and he kind of tapped there. It was probably more tight on his shoulder than it was on his elbow joint. Here next I'm calling over, I was trying to call over my buddy, but he was tired, and what I got instead was I call this kid the Bear. Competes a lot, like twice a month. Just won some sort of title. He's like 16. Just beat somebody older, an adult. And right off the bat goes for this headlock, tries to roll me over, stay upright, and goes to my back, and I think I roll into an omoplata. End up attacking his leg and just use it for a sweep to come up on top past his guard. Fall back on an arm. This kid's light. He's I think he competes at like 135. He's probably walking around 140, 150. So I had some weight on him. Here he gets out, and I try to come up with his arm stuck between my legs. We end up scrambling and rolling, and I come up on top, get into mount, and I still have that omoplata grip. Try to come up for the omoplata, but he rolls. He just lets me come on top. Here I'm thinking about doing the bow and arrow on him too. And I did that little drag. And you get up and drag him. Here I did it again. And then we ended up pushed up against the fence. So it happened a third time. I had to keep getting up and readjusting. He tries to get on his knees here, but I have a grip around the back of his, here I try to do a bow and arrow on him too. And what ended up happening? I can't remember what happened here. I was thinking about going for the head and arm. Kimura. I believe he rolls. He either rolls or he lets me get it. Use my head there to post. Okay, here I got a inverted triangle, but he busts out of that. Was not tight enough. So he rolls out of that. And I'm trying to end up on top here. So he totally just passes the guard there and ends up there. So I try to do a little squid guard, or whatever the hell it's called, octopus guard, and I end up throwing him into the fence there. Here I get the mount. Today at work at the gas station, some fella came in looking for a job. Some Indian, he was an Indian guy, older Indian guy, ended up telling me he was 39. Came in looking for a job. He said he had gotten a somebody had told him to come in for an interview or for training down the road, and when he showed up they told him that there was no opening and that they don't know who told him to come. So he was a little bent out of shape. Came in asking me if there was any openings, and I was like, nope, sorry buddy, no openings here. There's actually too many employees here. We're actually making some cuts ourselves. And so he lingers around, stands around, starts telling me that his dad was a wrestler, says he notices my ears, and he's talking half in our language, half in English. And okay, this guy's real nice. He's a cool guy. I like rolling with him. He's tough. He's a good wrestler. And I believe his name is Ricky. I'll get a double check and make sure. Always have good rounds with him. I think he said he was 210, and he's probably 5'8", 5'9". So he's a strong guy. And I believe he's a wrestler. And so I always like to start standing with him. Been trying to do a more active stance and not really working here. Try to get the arm drag, get a leg. He claims it back. I try to get the Uchimata, not happening. Try to get the Osotogari, not happening. But he falls back on the ankle, which was probably not smart because I just backstep and pass his guard real easy. Drop down. Try to prevent him from coming up on his knees. He has a grip on my right leg, so I'm just trying to get rid of that. We keep running into the guys behind me. Scoot over a little bit. Yeah, I tell him let's just reset, but he wants to continue there. I don't get the same grips because I had a grip behind his collar. So just reset the grips. I think eventually he just gets up here. Yeah, he just gets back up on his knees, and he has my leg, so he reverses the position pretty good. And I still have that grip around the back of his armpit. So I throw him over. You see that grip right there under his armpit. I throw him over and I grab his elbow and I just go for Kimura. He comes up real quick and I have to just stand. So he gets up. I do an arm drag, failed arm drag, but I maintain that far side grip behind the armpit and I just keep coming up. And so now I'm just attacking that arm, trying to get the like Mika Galval style armbar. And it ends up happening. He rolls into the other guys, and I end up getting it. This dude's super nice. It's feeling pretty good, not tired at all. Alright, we get Josh again. And actually, I love rolling with Josh. He's always ready. He's always, he's never really giving you easy rounds. He's always trying. Tried to go for a little ankle pick there. Kind of knew, kind of saw it coming. And I was just trying to do different stuff. I didn't want to just do an arm drag again. He keeps getting me a headlock. I try to do a Russian tie here to get around his back, but he got his arm free there. I usually just do Russian tie to a single leg. I just get real close to that leg and I just scoop it. It's just the easiest thing. He wasn't letting me get it, so I was just kind of waiting for him to shoot or make a move or find an opening. From here, I'm trying to set something up. I think I just gave up and just said, you know, I'll just do an arm drag. Oh no, yeah, I did the I tried to do a fucking judo toss. Let's replay it. I did a really bad Seoi-nage and I didn't step in between his legs enough, so he was able to get up and try to reverse it, but we rolled and I ended up getting on top anyways. So never done a Seoi-nage before. I was just playing it in my mind and I thought it would be good to attempt there, especially with a young guy like Josh. But not a judo toss. It is a Seoi-nage. Old school, over the shoulder. And I just needed to be between his legs. And here I just pretty much just get the straight armbar Kimura from being in the top position. It's good to practice judo throws, especially when you're not a good wrestler and you don't shoot. You're not good at shooting. But even with the judo, you're gonna need the fast twitch, no matter what. No matter what the stand-up game is. Stand-up games kind of rely heavily on the fast twitch. Here we got Katie coming in. And I gotta admit, this was a really weird roll. This was, I was kind of just trying to stay on the outside, mainly because I was so sweaty. And I was like dripping sweat, and I didn't want to like sweat on her, I guess. So I wasn't doing any top pressure. I was kind of just working on the outside, even when. So she was kind of refusing to do any top, like work any top game. So I would just get up, but I would still be like 5 feet away from her. And here I'm just trying to scoop her foot up out of the way. Actually, I wasn't trying to go for an ankle lock. And don't really know what I was trying to do. I was trying to get her to not attack my ankle. Here I went for a little roll, maybe get an armbar or something, and she kept grabbing my foot, which is a problem because a couple of weeks ago she grabbed my foot and went for, I think it was a heel hook, and it was tight, and she actually popped my foot a few times. So learned my lesson there. You can't really take you can't take any of her offense too lightly. Like, look at that, she's getting a pretty deep bite there, but she has no she doesn't have control of a knee line or anything, so it was just easy to escape it. But she knows what she's doing. It's not like she's just randomly firing. There I was gonna roll, but it was kind of pointless because she was too flat. She gets up, I try to drop behind her to get her back, end up just in this little halfway position, but I kick her legs, end up on top, side control, and I have that grip behind her armpit again, which is really keeping her from turning into me, which is what she needs to do. And at the end here, I just end up like, this is, you can see what I'm doing. I'm like not trying to pressure into her. Here I just grab her foot and I just go for an ankle lock. And it was a straight ankle lock. Here we got the next guy coming. It's this gentleman. Older gentleman. I think he literally just might have just gotten done rolling with Ricardo and then just came straight to me. And I believe I started a new clip. And a new angle. Got a new angle. This is an older gentleman, so didn't want to go too much of a fast pace. Just trying to see what he was doing. So he sits, comes in. We're working. Start on our knees. You can just see how slow we're going. At this point, I'm just trying to control his grip. I'm trying to keep my arm on the outside of my knee there, so he doesn't really crush any of my grips. And I'm seeing the opening for the my classic sweep, my leg into the armpit, omoplata. But he was staying stiff. He was staying heavy and upright. So I just kind of bailed on that. Got my guard back, sort of. Had his arm on the other side of my body enough to where I could go for this arm drag situation. End up behind him. Think about pulling that knee. Instead, push it in, try to get him on his side. He rolls, gets flat on his back. I decide to try to get to the other side. He gets flat. Now I have to pass his legs. The way I'm going to do that is try to go for double unders, I guess, is what I did here. Yeah, double unders and then just step over. Can't remember what I finished with, but it was, something super respectful. It wasn't like a goddamn, it wasn't a rape choke or anything. Right here I like to post way out because that's, if they were trying to escape, they'd be rolling that way. and I think I was trying to get high up into his armpit so I could throw a leg over, attack his arm. Here I was looking for a burrata plata, but I think I bailed because it was like too much. It was kind of too mean. Here I got punished for turning my back like that. You're never supposed to really turn your back while in that top position. Comes around with his hand and boom, smacks me in the nose, bridge of the nose. You're not really supposed to turn your back when you're on top like that. You're always supposed to stay facing them. It's an easy way to get your back taken, or to just get smacked in the face like that. But turned around and ended up getting behind him and got a little seatbelt grip. Did not have my bottom leg under him, which is what I want, but at this point it didn't really matter. Not sure what I did from here. I think I just got him in an arm bar or something. Sad part is my phone stopped recording because it ran out of storage. By this point I was pretty beat. I was a little tired. And we got our judo buddy, the judo black belt. And we got the beginning part of this roll because stupid memory. You gotta delete a bunch of apps. Hopefully we got the there was some good judo exchanges in the beginning here. Real strong grip, real stiff grip. He's setting up exactly what I did to our buddy there. He's setting up the Seoinage. He's maintaining that distance. He sees me not really doing anything, so he's gonna push into me. He's gonna try to toss me over the shoulder, but what I do is I post my left leg, my knee there goes heavy on the floor, prevents me from tipping all the way over. So I square up with him and then I shoot for that leg right away. I come up with it, and then he is a bit off balance, so he just kind of falls back and he tries to tominagi me up and over, and I just maintain heavy hips and just secure the single leg. And basically he might have made the same mistake that I made in my Seoinage. He didn't get in between my legs well enough. He was too far away from me when he switched his hips. So get into side control here, and I think from here we just stayed here until I finished it, but essentially the video cuts out and he gets a nice little sweep there. Takes advantage of me holding on to those grips too long. Rolls me over, reverses the position. I think I end up octopus guarding my way out, and we square up again. Oh no, I take his back. I octopus guard and take his back. I don't know what happened there. I think some sort of sub. Or no, I hit him in the nuts. And we had to reset. But my phone stopped recording before we even reset and started rolling again. But the most interesting part was just that judo exchange in the beginning. So it doesn't really matter that the rest of the roll wasn't picked up. overall good rolls on this day. There's a lot of good people there. No injuries, yeah, at least that I could feel right now. So it was a good day. Learned some stuff, tried something new. Got to get better at the Seoinage, and might be drilling that coming up here in the next few days.